All right, welcome to another Financially Lit Friday. I am Denise Nicole, your financially lit Black girl advocate, and today we are going to get into must-read books by Black girls for Black girls who want to get financially lit, aka financially literate. So, I'm actually going to break these up into two videos. So we're gonna have a part one and then we're gonna have a part two. And I'm doing that because I have physical books as well as digital books. And so this first video will be dedicated to the physical books that I actually have. And then the next video, part two, will be dedicated to the digital books that I have. The one thing I will say or mention before I dig into this is in the last video, the video where I actually kind of went through my journey as far as like the past and where we are currently and, you know, the things that we're getting ready to do. And I went through the pillars of a financially lit Black girl. The first pillar was to manifest money. And when we talked about manifesting money, you know, I know manifest means a lot of things to a lot of different things to people. But for me, manifest just means to get it within your mindset, to have a mindset for it so that you can start to receive it, so that you can start to see it, so that you can focus on it, be intentional about it, and receive it when it comes into your life. And so that's why, you know, I am super excited about these next two videos and giving you this list of must-read books for Black girls by Black girls, you know, when we talk about wanting to get financially lit, because it's through other people's experiences. And, you know, when we talk about financially lit Black girl who look like us, right? It's through their education, it's through the things that they teach us that will help to shape our mindsets to get in the same positions, to do the same things, to get intentional and become financially lit ourselves. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get in this. These are not in any particular order. I thought about putting it in order as far as like which ones I read first, which one's my favorite, but we just gonna dive into this thing. So the first book is We Should All Be Millionaires. It's a woman's guide to earning more, building wealth, and gaining economic power by Rachel Rodgers. Hey girl, hey. And I have read this book. I love this book. I actually really love her. She started out as a lawyer, and then she did some things as far as like having a I think like a digital practice before like it became a thing. And then she started her own business. When she saw how she could generate revenue, she started her own business, and it's called, I believe, Hello Seven, and you know, it's about 7 figures. One of the things that stood, let me say it like this, not that I love the most, that stood out to me the most while I was reading this book is she makes a point to say that you don't have to only listen to or wait for the voice of a white man when it comes to being financial literate or when it comes to finances. And I know, you know, if you're a Black girl in America, just through the trajectory of our history, that has kind of been the case. You know, white men started this country, put things in place within this country, have set themselves up in this country. So they have had the, you know, largest share of the voice, specifically as it pertains to finances. And you know, now that I'm thinking about it, I wish I had gone through the book and found the actual quote so I could read it to you as she says it. But that will prevent you from opening it up and reading it yourself. What I will do is I will go through the table of contents for you. So I'm not a person who necessarily judges a book by its cover, but I love to go through the table of contents to kind of get an idea for what it is that I'm going to be looking at. So she has it divided into two parts. So the first part is called Million Dollar Behavior. She talks about her million dollar story, million dollar lies, million dollar decisions, million dollar boundaries, million dollar squad, million dollar vision. And then part two is called the Million Dollar Roadmap. So you have the million dollar value, million dollar pricing, million dollar team, and million dollar systems, and then $1 million now, followed by the conclusion. So makes a lot of sense. We should all be millionaires. She's digging into the $1 million in her table of contents. I will end talking about this book particularly, just saying that I love the declaration over you. We should all be millionaires. Like, what is it? Again, mindset, right? If you have any doubt within your mind that you should be a millionaire, why do you have that doubt in your mind? What have you been told? What have you seen? What have you heard that, gives you an idea you should not also be a millionaire? And so, love this book. Highly recommend. All right, let's go to the next. This is Get Good with Money by Tiffany Alige. You guys may know her as the Budgetnisa. And so this is 10 simple steps to becoming financially whole. You might also recognize her. She was in a Netflix special called Get Smart with Money, where she kind of went over these 10 steps, or at least helped somebody go through some of the steps that she talks about in this book, as well as in some of her programs. So she's kind of been in the game, financially lit game, for a while. This was a great book. She really breaks things down in a very simple way, easy to understand. So even when we talk about like budgeting, I don't know what she calls it. Oh, she says whole budget building. Also, I'll go through the table of contents in a minute, but the way she breaks down budgeting is basically you're just looking at the money that you have coming in, the money that you have going out, and then what's left over. And then she'll tell you, like, she has her different process or system for putting money for bills here, putting money for things here, putting money for something else over there. And so if you are someone who needs like that compartmentalization and keeping things like separate, this could be a great book for you. One of the things that she said in that Get Smart with Money documentary on Netflix that I love is she said automation is the new discipline. And so she's big on automation. Like I said, those systems of when you automatically put money here, there, and everywhere to take care of things, it's automated, and then you don't have to think about it anymore, and it keeps you disciplined because it's automated. So again, if that's something that you're interested in, not only do I suggest you watch the documentary, but definitely get the book. So let's go through the table of contents. Okay, so chapter 1 is before we begin, get to know your financial wholeness. Chapter 2, 10% whole, budget building. Chapter 3, 20% whole, save like a squirrel. Chapter 4, 30% whole, dig out of debt. Chapter 5, 40% whole, score high. She's talking about credit. Chapter 6, 50% whole, learn to earn, increase your income. Chapter 7, 60% whole, invest like an insider, retirement and wealth. Chapter 8, 70% whole, get good with insurance. Chapter 9, 80% whole, grow rich-ish, increase your net worth. Chapter 10, 90% whole, pick your money team, your financial professionals. Chapter 11, 100% whole, leave a legacy, and that's estate planning. And so if you have been with me before today, if you've listened to any of the content or gotten any of my emails, then you already know I'm loving everything she's talking about. Because these are the things that we talk about, and they are, again, like the pillars, the keys to becoming financially lit. So let's go into this next book. This is the 7-Figure Network, a modern wealth blueprint for Black Americans. And it's by Brie L. Mabry. Okay. So this is what this one looks like. And I actually have not been able to get into and read this one. But we're going to go through the table of contents just to show you like how deep she's actually going into this book, okay? So she starts out with your numbers, going over your financial assets, your liabilities and debt, your personal net worth, your household income, paycheck deductions, employer benefits, insurance coverage, credit scores. So, you know, when we talk about a scripture and we say, my people perish for lack of knowledge, one of the other things about manifesting money and changing your mindset is that you now have the education, you now have the knowledge, right, to apply to yourself. And so you can no longer get kind of like screwed over by saying, oh, I didn't know, because these books and these people, Black girls, right, are breaking this thing down for you. So in the next section, she's talking about your habits, a 6-figure Sean and a 7-figure Shauna. Monthly budgeting and reconciliation, debt reduction, multiple income streams, international saving, impactful giving, renting versus owning real estate, assembling your financial squad, investing, drafting your blueprint. And then last is the mindset section, where she's gonna have you dig into inherited money mindsets, extended family impact, writing a letter to money, renewing your mind, and then you're gonna end on your legacy, right? Creating your legacy folder and talking about what's next. So I love it. I'm actually, as I'm reading the table of contents, like, why haven't I read this? But y'all know life be lifing, which is why I got those digital books, because a lot of times I get through material easier if it's an audiobook. And you know, when we talk about money and numbers, this sometimes you can't go through it. You need the paper and pen. So I get it, and I'm definitely like about to check this out. So next book is it's by Ariane Simone, and it is called The Fearless Money Mindset. Broke doesn't scare me. So I am just gonna pause because Ariane Simone has created the Fearless Fund for Black women entrepreneurs, and I saw recently that there was either a guy or a company who was trying to sue her for discrimination, and I just was like, why? So I don't know. I mean, we know why, but I just, it really bothered me. It bothered me because of why I'm here doing what I'm doing with Financially Lit Black Girls. Like I talked about in one of the previous videos, that we know one of the biggest things that is causing the gap in net worth with Black women is the wage gap, the wealth gap, which is a result of the wage gap. And one of the other pieces to that is when Black women do start their own business to increase their income, they are usually denied small business loans and venture capitalism. So here you have this Black woman who is trying to start or has started her own fund for other Black entrepreneurs, and then you got somebody trying to come in against her because they have been disqualified as a result of their race, when for years we have been disqualified for things as a result of our race. In any event, let's get into this table of contents. So our table of contents are setting the stage. Introduction. Chapter 1, the belief principle. 2, the thought principle. 3, the speech principle. 4, the principle of sowing. 5, the action principle. 6, the relationship principle, 7, the principle of stewardship, and then there is a bonus chapter. So her books are usually pretty easy to read. I have read a different book of hers. I haven't gotten into this yet. But I attended one of her conferences a couple of years ago, and she is just a really sweet person. She's really here to empower Black women, you know, obviously by creating her own Fearless Fund. And so her story is actually incredible, which is why her subtitle is, oh, excuse me, y'all. Let me clear that up for y'all. Broke doesn't scare me, because her story is she actually in her story lost it all, you know, was like living out of her car, and has built all the way back up as a result of, my guess, these principles that she is teaching within this book. So I am really excited to go ahead and get into that. All right, so the next book is 10 Simple Steps to Achieve Financial Freedom and Build Generational Wealth. This is called The Wealth Decision, and it is by Dominique Bradley. Lord, Broadway. Dominique Broadway. And this is actually one of the newest books that I have. I believe it just came out not too long ago. She has a course, Dominique has a course where she is teaching people how to invest in the stock market. And so she has a really cool story as well, where this is what she did as a day job. But what she realized is that she was only helping rich people get richer. And so she made a decision to take the knowledge that she had and help people who look like her, you know, the culture, the Black girls, understand the concepts and be able to apply those same concepts so that they could increase their income, their net worth, you know, and their options as well. So let's go through these contents. Chapter 1 is Take Back the Power. Chapter 2 is Trace Your Money Origins. Chapter 3 is Get Your Past Out of Your Future. Chapter 4 is Be the CEO of Your Money. 5, Know Your Numbers. 6, Face Your Debt Monster. 7, Make saving simple and sexy, then circulate your way to wealth. 8, Turn time into cash. 9, Use money to make money. And then 10, Protect your worth, as well as a conclusion after that. So again, if you are the pillars of the Financially Lit Black Girl, I just want to know if any of this information is sounding familiar. The information that I have used to make the pillars is sounding familiar to what's within these books, or if what's within these books is sounding familiar to our pillars. Saying all that to say that it's necessary. We just got to do what we got to do to get financially lit. All right, so because this is a new one, obviously I haven't been able to get into the book, but I'm really excited to, because like I said, I have been in her course. I've, gone through the way that she teaches. I've heard her story. I love how she breaks things down super easily, and I'm just really admired by what it is that she has been able to accomplish for, her people as a result of leaving, where she was and saying, nope, I'm going to do this for, my people. I'm going to educate. I'm going to teach. I'm going to empower. So the last book for today is Girl, Get Your Money Straight. A Sister's Guide to Healing Your Bank Account and Funding Your Dreams in 7 Simple Steps. This is by Glenda Bridgeforth. Now let me tell y'all what's funny about this book. I feel like my mom gave me this book when I was in college, after I graduated high school, somewhere within my young adult, like early 20s life. And I did not read the book. I remember, looking at it. I remember opening it, but I don't remember ever. Maybe I even glanced through it and saw some of the things that she put in this book, but I don't remember ever reading it and or applying any of this, which I think is funny because it could have potentially saved me from some decisions along the way if I had been able to apply that knowledge back then. What I will say is, having read it, digging into it now, I can relate to what she's talking about a whole lot more than I could. So she is one who had she was successful, and I think she was working as well as had like a successful business with her husband. But I think she was saying her husband used the success of the business to like be fulfilled in the marriage. Like, he wasn't happy with her, he was just like, you happy with the stuff. So when they started having some issues, their relationship had issues, and they ended up getting a divorce. And so the book is really just about how she got divorced and rebuilt her finances, rebuilt herself after the divorce. And so, I think about it, I had the book, I didn't apply the book. Maybe it had something to do with it, right? Like, I could not relate to that back then. I had not been through anything like that, and I still haven't been through anything like that, but I've had enough situations of like being at one place, coming back down, and like, oh, how are we gonna rebuild up, whether it's finances, whether it's business, whether it's getting another job, whatever it is, right? You just understand that concept and that like the challenges of life a little bit more after you've experienced more life. So definitely a good read. Let's get into the table of contents. Part 1 is preparing your mind for financial success. So you have the road to financial healing, a closer look at history, and then money in the family. And then part 2 are the 7 prescriptions for financial health and healing. So you have prescription 1, set goals that speak to your heart. Prescription 2, balance your checkbook, know your net worth. Prescription 3, develop a spending plan. Prescription 4, track and analyze your spending. Prescription 5, pay off debt with discipline, not deprivation. Prescription 6, save consistently without being a miser. And prescription 7, get the support and expert advice you need. And then part 3 is beyond getting it straight, building wealth and funding your dreams. So yeah, this is another one that I'm excited to finish. I started it recently, but like I said, it's easier for me to get through audiobooks, and every book is not on an audiobook platform that I have been able to find. So just get through it as you can get through it. I believe that the knowledge will get to you when you need it. But yeah, so I'm really excited about part 2, showing you the digital books, the must-read digital books by Black girls for Black girls who want to get financially lit. But before I leave today, I just wanted to let you know that I have a goodie for you. So if you are would like something free from me, you can go ahead and sign up with the link below. And then I also want to invite you to participate in the Financially Lit Black Girl overview, like intro to financial literacy course. So that link will also be down below as well. And then the last thing that I want to say, if you noticed, I had 6 books today. I will have 6 books in part 2 in the digital book review. And if you guys are like me, you're readers, you want to read, you want to get, you want to change your mindset, you want to get financially lit, I would love to start a book club. And so with there being 12 books, we could potentially read 1 book a month and be done with all of them in a year. So if that's something that you're interested in, definitely comment below. I might create like a an interest list, right, just to get your email. So if we get enough numbers, or if we get to a certain amount of numbers of people who are interested, that we go ahead and roll that out. Because, you know, like I said, I have these books, have had some of these books and haven't gone through them, but, you know, I know that accountability and community helps you get through things that you wouldn't necessarily get through on your own, which is also why I'm rolling out the course. But yeah, so let me know 3 things. 1, if you want to sign up for a goodie, there's a link for that. 2, if you want to sign up for course, there's a link for that. And then if you want to join a book club to read these books over the course of a year, there will be a link for that. All right, guys, again, I am so excited to reveal the next set of books for you in part 2. And so I will see you then. Peace.